Mel, where are you right now? Where did your clothes and all your stuff go? Place is empty. Frankie's room too! Everything's gone! What's going on? Where did you and Frankie go?
Hello, Jay. I know this is sudden and might come as a surprise, but me and Frankie won't be coming back home.
What?
I met someone else. We're getting a divorce. Don't worry, I'll only be taking Frankie. You can keep Anthony.
What? Where the hell did this come from? What's going on? Why?
I'm doing this for Frankie's benefit. Let's face it, Jay, our son is a genius. He's always at the top of his class, he loves to study, he excels at every sport he tries, everything he touches turns to gold. He wins the school art and music competitions every single year, too. There's no doubt about it, he's genuinely gifted. Which is why I think he deserves to be raised in the best environment possible and receive a superb education worthy of such high intellect. That's why he needs someone who's capable of providing financially for him. Let's face it, Jay, that's not you, is it? I'm sorry, but our son deserves better than what you can give him.
What? I'm not filthy rich, so you're divorcing me and moving out with my son all of a sudden? I don't understand the logic. We have food on the table, do we not? I thought we were getting by. And why do you only want Frankie? None of this makes any sense. How do you think this is going to make Anthony feel? Have you even thought about that? This is basically the same as saying, hey son, you're not as smart as your brother, so I'm abandoning you. See ya!
It's not basically the same. That's really what I'm doing. He's a good-for-nothing dullard that will never amount to anything. He's a failure of a human being. Son or not, what benefit is there in having someone like that around?
What? How can you say that? Anthony is not a failure of a human being.
Yes, he damn well is. His grades are below average in literally everything. He sucks at studying, he's so clumsy he doesn't even get picked in team sports, he's useless. He never won a single prize at school. No, it's worse than that. He never won a single thing in his life. How could he be described as anything other than a failure of a human being?
Stop speaking about him like that! Anthony's doing his best. He works so hard and tries to meet your expectations of him. Just because he might not always meet them doesn't mean he's not trying. He skips on sleep to study, damn it! Besides, his grades might not be the best, but they did start going up over the last year.
Maybe they did start going up a little recently, but they're still only slightly above average. If that's the best he can do when he pushes his limits, he is obviously not cut out for anything special. Face it, he lost the dice roll. Frankie got the clever genes. All the study in the world is meaningless without results. Frankie's always been a natural at whatever he does. How did his big brother end up so useless? If we're honest, he'll only end up holding Frankie back. Do you want to end up with 2 failed children?
Come on, are you seriously saying we should separate them? They're brothers and they love each other. They get on like a house on fire. How do you think they'd feel about being torn apart? They're still in elementary and middle school, for crying out loud. It would crush them and you know it.
Frankie would be more crushed by growing up to be a failure and realizing it was all because he received the poisonous influence of his loser brother for far too long. We have to be courageous enough to make the decision now, before it's too late. Anyway, whether you like it or not, it's already decided. I'm taking Frankie because he's gifted, he's going to do great things one day. My new boyfriend is very wealthy. He's the CEO of a major donut chain, but he doesn't have any kids of his own. He said if Frankie can maintain his excellent grades until he graduates college, he'll adopt him and appoint him as successor to his company. And the cream of the intellectual crop, with the support of my new boyfriend, he'll be receiving a world-class education of the kind that most people can only dream of. Then one day, he'll be part of the business elite, the backbone of America. which is precisely why he can't be allowed to associate with a pair of brain-dead morons like you two for 1 second longer. Me and Frankie are moving up in the world. And me and you will be cutting all ties.
Just wait a sec, Mel. You don't just get to decide something like this all on your own. I won't accept it.
I don't care whether you accept it or not. Whatever you say, I'm absolutely not taking his moron brother. I wouldn't if you paid me. I hope you and Anthony enjoy your new life together. It might be hard, what with you two having a combined IQ of less than 50 and all, but good luck. Goodbye forever. Hello, Jay. It's been a while. It's me, Mel.
What do you want after all this time? Go away.
I'd rather you weren't so rude. I was thinking of celebrating today, so I gave you a call. I heard the news about Anthony getting into med school. That's my boy. I always knew he'd do great things. He's got brains just like his mother. I can't tell you how proud this makes me.
Oh, that's strange. I could have sworn you were calling him every name under the sun when we last spoke 5 years ago. Good-for-nothing loser, brain dead, a failure of a human being. You cast us both aside like pieces of trash.
He really was a failure back then, though. I mean, come on, Jay. His grades were below average. Let me tell you, though, I was astonished when I heard he'd made it into med school. My jaw practically hit the floor. But you know what? Deep down, I always knew that he had what it took to go the distance, to really do something amazing with his life.
You've got some nerve, woman. The only reason you want to snuggle up to him now is because he got into med school. I can read you like a book. You're as shallow as you are naive. He doesn't need you to celebrate for him. Now get lost.
Oh, wait, just wait. That's not all I wanted to say. There's something else we have to talk about.
There is? You mean you have more nonsensical crap to bore me with? Today must be my lucky day, huh?
Stop being so difficult and just listen. It's about Frankie. You know how his grades were so excellent back when I took him 5 years ago? Well, I'd like to trade him for Anthony.
Excuse me?
No one could deny he was the shame of our family back then. He was so clumsy, it was like he had 2 left feet, which naturally made him useless at sports, and his academic ability was even worse. But now he's in med school, I have absolutely no problem with acknowledging him as my son. Rather than betting everything on Frankie, whose performance at this point is so pathetic, he might not even make it past his college entrance exams. I think it would make more sense to invest our hopes for the future in Anthony, who's already proven he's the one who's going places by getting into med school. My husband agreed. He said if he's clever enough to get into med school, he'd have no problem with allowing him to live with us. Look, basically, you need to give me Anthony.
Wow. Just when I thought you couldn't sink any lower, you speak about our boys like they're racehorses.
I get it. Maybe there's a better way to say it, but when you think about it realistically, children are basically racehorses, aren't they? My life will change enormously depending on whether my sons succeed or not. It's only natural to want to hedge your bets on the promising one. You get that, right?
Like hell I do! You're twisted! Anthony isn't some tool solely existing to provide you with a comfortable life. Not only did you snatch Frankie away from his dad and brother, but now you're trying to manipulate Anthony like he's some pawn on a chessboard?
Fine. If you don't want to give me Anthony, let's trade.
What?
I'll give you Frankie if you give me Anthony. Frankie might still only be in high school, but it is one of the most prestigious high schools in the country. I'll even cover all his tuition fees and send you regular child support payments. You can't say fairer than that. I think this is a really favorable trade for you.
Wow, just hold on a sec. You want us to trade sons? What are they, Pokemon cards? Are you insane? How could you do that to Frankie? I thought you loved him.
You'll probably find it eventually, so I may as well just tell you the truth. But Frankie moved out half a year ago.
He did what?
He was doing great until middle school. Top grades, always winning competitions and prizes. He was the golden boy. But when he moved up to high school, he met a girl on social media who clearly must have poisoned his mind. Because not long after they met, he left home. He did carry on going to school for a little while, and he did used to message me every now and then. But eventually he stopped showing up, and even if I went to meet him or lied in wait where he couldn't see me, nothing. I have no idea where he went and have no way of getting him back.
Frankie did that?
My husband flipped a switch. I've never seen him so furious. He invested so much in that boy's education so he could be his successor and inherit the company one day. To think all it took to destroy it was some bimbo. He threatened to divorce me if I couldn't get Frankie back.
No way. So the only reason you want Anthony is as a replacement for Frankie? You're using him as a tool to avoid getting divorced?
If I'm completely honest, yes. We had an arrangement. My husband, being childless, said that if I could provide him with an adoptive son and successor to his company, he'd promise me a life of luxury as a celeb trophy wife. If I don't hurry up and find him a replacement, I'm gonna be on the streets.
I didn't know it was actually possible for a single human being to be this despicable. You make me sick. I have no words. To think part of me actually thought you were being sincere back then when you said you were doing what you did for Frankie. Turns out you were only ever thinking about yourself. Does your selfishness know no bounds?
You can say what you want about me, I don't care. Are you gonna give me Anthony or not? I might not be able to trade him for Frankie, but who knows, maybe he'll go and live with you voluntarily. If Anthony can get into med school after being such a failure, anything's possible. Maybe Frankie could even become a respectable human being again if he lived with you. So what's it gonna be? Will you give me him?
You must be deluded if you think even for a second I'm actually going to go along with this. You're something else. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. You're the one who got abandoned.
Huh?
You probably thought you were the one who abandoning me and Anthony. But the only one who actually got abandoned is you.
What are you talking about? What does that mean?
Frankie probably finally saw through your unparalleled selfishness and decided he was better off making a life for himself rather than relying on his deluded and very likely sociopathic mother. Basically, he had enough of you and didn't want to be around you a moment longer.
There's no way Frankie would ever think that about me. He's a genius. How could anyone so wise and intelligent have a negative opinion of me?
He left precisely because he's wise and intelligent. He probably realized that he was doomed to a life of being used and manipulated if he stayed with you. So he made a break for it and abandoned you. That's my boy.
Oh my god. After we spent so much money on him.
Anyway, I won't be giving you Anthony, and we won't be doing any kind of trade. In fact, Anthony is adamant he never wants to see you again. I also have no intention of letting him come anywhere near someone as dangerous as you. You can beg me as much as you like. I'm simply going to ignore you, and I will absolutely not be helping you. Leave us alone. Forever.
No, wait, please! I'm gonna be in so much trouble if you don't help me. Please, I won't have anywhere to live. If I can't provide my husband with a replacement son, his company will be successorless. What do you propose he do about that, huh?
Oh, is that my problem? Nope. That has precisely zero to do with me and my sons. Zilch. Nada.
Please, Jay, I'm begging you. Will you at least let Anthony meet my husband? He can do what he likes as long as he agrees to inherit the company. If he doesn't, I'm gonna get kicked out. I'll be homeless. Could you live with yourself? Be honest, could you?
Yes, very easily. It's actually kind of ironic, isn't it? You called Anthony a failure of a human being for so long. But ultimately, you're only capable of getting by begging from and sponging off of others. Looks like you were the one that failed a human being all along. After that, Mel showed up at my front door after driving a very long way to try and persuade me. Or should I say, my old front door. I'd moved house 2 years back and made a point of not telling her my new address. So I was surprised to hear from my old neighbor about the strange woman making a racket next door. Apparently, she gave up eventually, and her efforts to contact me and Anthony ended in vain. I heard she also went to the police to see if they'd help her find Frankie, but they told her no crime had been committed and refused to have anything to do with it. Ultimately, her worst fears came true. Her husband divorced her, and she was homeless. She somehow managed to scrape together the rent on a tiny cockroach-ridden apartment, and currently spends her days in the depths of poverty, probably contemplating where it all went wrong. By the way, there's something I should come clean about. Frankie moved in with me and his brother 6 months ago. The stress of his mother constantly restricting his freedom, combined with the pressure put on by him by her husband to take over his company, became too much to bear. In order to pull off this vanishing act, he pretended he met a girl online and had decided to go and live with her. Then, as he moved up to high school, he put together a bare minimum of essential items and came home to live with me and his brother. I know he's my son, but if I do say so myself, that was one hell of a move. I was in awe of his decisiveness and strength of will. With his mom getting divorced, he couldn't afford to stay at the original high school he moved up to, so he moved to another one near our house. Now, he's living comfortably while doing the things that he wants to do, living life on his own terms. As for Anthony, he was over the moon to be reunited with his brother. The three of us intend to live our lives in happiness and harmony from now on.
Hey, Miley. I heard you got a new boyfriend.
Huh? Who'd you hear that from?
Mom told me last night. How could you, keeping secrets from your big sister? I heard he came to the house to say hello to Mom and Dad. Why didn't you give me a heads up? I would have rushed over.
Well, because I didn't want to introduce you to him. I'm embarrassed to introduce you. You have no class. And to be honest, you're rude.
Huh? What do you mean by that? No class? Your sister? The one who graduated from an elite college? That big sister of yours? You have to be kidding me, LOL.
There, that's what I mean. That's what I hate about you.
Mom showed me a photo of this boyfriend of yours. I wouldn't call him handsome, LOL. To be honest, run-of-the-mill kind of guy. I see guys like that all the time. And his clothes, not brand-made stuff. Pretty drab, LOL.
I would prefer you say clean and polished. Brad is not like that. He hates that showy and tasteless fashion sense. It's always about brands. Like some people I know.
Boy, you've always been the black sheep of the family. Mediocre at school. Face? Nothing to write home about. Couldn't you at least have found a better guy? Take a look at me and my boyfriend. You can learn a thing or two about good looking. Where else can you find such a well-educated, good-looking couple like us, LOL?
Yeah, I heard this all before.
Well, let's just forget about looks or how he dresses. Where'd your boyfriend go to school, by the way? Which university did he graduate from?
Why do I have to even tell you that? Besides, it's none of your business.
It's got everything to do with me. You know, I'm getting married in 6 months. And if you end up marrying this guy, well, then we're all relatives. I don't want to be embarrassed when I introduce my relatives to people. Oh my god, don't tell me you went to the community college in town. I know you're not too bright, but you wouldn't go out with a guy from that place.
Is educational background so important? If you have to know, he went as far as high school. He decided not to go on to college.
Huh? High school? You mean to tell me he only finished high school? Not higher education? You mean like really high school?
Yep, that's right.
You're kidding me, right? Tell me you're joking. He's a high school graduate, that's it?
Yes, that's right.
Huh? No way! I thought everyone went on to college these days, even if it's a community college.
He decided not to go on to college, so what?
This is unbelievable. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but a boyfriend that's only a high school grad? This is too much, LOL. Wait, are you seriously going out with this loser? You're just dating, having a little fun, right? Do you really plan to marry a mere high school grad?
Yeah, I'm serious about him. I like him a lot. I'm planning on marrying him, and he feels the same way. That's why I came to meet Mom and Dad.
Holy crap, you're serious. Good grief. What are you going to do? I mean, please. A high school grad, really?
And I keep saying, so what? I don't care about his educational background. I fell in love with him. What can I say? He's nice and he's courteous, and he's a damn hard worker. Couldn't ask for more. I fell in love with who he is, not his education.
Oh my god, you guys are still in high school. Fitting, LOL. You sound like a teenager. Just a couple of teenagers. You guys are made for each other.
Think what you like. I can't believe you're actually my sister.
Hey, so he only finished high school. What kind of work does a high schooler do? I mean, there is no way he can work at a major corporation. The only job I can think of him doing is some blue-collar stuff. Perhaps a bit of trash collecting, LOL. You know me, I went to a really elite college, so I'm not sure what such people do, LOL.
You're really being rude. He's in the food business. But Brad does not really want me to say much about his job.
Okay, a high school grad, working in the food industry. I know. He's a dishwasher, right? Yeah, I wouldn't want anybody knowing either. I would be totally embarrassed.
You got it all wrong.
Hey, you know, about my wedding. I said you could bring a date, but please not this kid. I don't want him anywhere near our wedding.
Huh? What do you mean?
It means I don't want some uneducated dishwasher coming to my wedding. That's all. I can't very well tell my friends that this guy's my little sister's boyfriend, or worse, her fiancé. Oh my god, no way. All my guests, as well as my fiancés, are all from top universities and they currently make considerable salaries. I even had qualms about inviting you. And you want to bring a high school grad who works the dishwasher? It's not happening.
Huh? And he's not a dishwasher.
Do you realize that we booked our wedding reception at that famous Ristorante? There's a 3-year wait for that place. Do you even know what a Ristorante is? It's a high-class restaurant that has a strict dress code. That's what a Ristorante is. And you know what? The pâtissier, the pastry chef for a novice like you. This chef recently won a world-famous event in Paris. We're going to have him bake our wedding cake. Can you believe it? So you see, I don't want some high school grad coming to my wedding and tainting the whole affair. I hope you understand. We just can't allow ourselves to serve such low-status people, if you get my drift, LOL.
You never change. I wish you would stop demeaning people like that. How could you say that, low-status people? Are you serious?
Well, it's true, isn't it? I mean, you guys are the ones who'd be ashamed if you attended anyway. Besides, low status probably means he doesn't even have the proper clothes to wear. I don't want him coming to the wedding in his old high school sweatshirt, LOL. We'd be the laughing stock of the whole town. Low status people will be restricted from attending my wedding. If you don't drop this guy before our wedding, well, I have no choice but to uninvite you to our wedding.
You know, I really didn't want to attend anyway. I don't want to attend a wedding of someone who disintegrates my boyfriend. Anyway, it would be a total waste to buy a wedding gift for the likes of you.
Don't be so stubborn. You're such a child, lol. Okay, so you're not attending the wedding. I'll scratch you off the list then. I guess you're just going to have to sit at home with your dishwasher boyfriend twiddling your thumbs. Hey, Miley, pick up. I was just at the restaurante where we're going to hold a reception. I was with the wedding planners, and guess what? Your boyfriend was there. What was he doing there? Is he the dishwasher there, lol?
Huh? Hey, is the restaurante that you chose, is it the one where Brad works at?
Yeah, I guess it is, lol. I'm usually surrounded by very fashionable and handsome people, so with that country boy looks, he's really stood out. Spotted him right away. A high school graduate, and he can work at a high-class place like that, lol. But he's a professional dishwasher by now, lol. I wonder how much a dishwasher makes at a place like that.
Like I said, Brad is not a dishwasher.
Well, I couldn't very much ignore him, so I said hello. I said it was Brenda, Miley's older sister. I was just curious, so I had to ask. I asked him why he only finished high school. Was it because his folks were poor? Sorry, I had to ask. He was really nervous, stood there with his mouth agape. What a sight, lol.
I really can't believe you. He's working. How could you disrespect him like that? What's wrong with you?
So what if the dishwasher takes a little break? Nobody cares about some lowly kitchen staff, lol. Oh yeah, listen to this. I figured I would tell him since he was there. I told him that it was our policy not to invite people with inadequate educational backgrounds to your wedding. I went as far as to tell him that no such uneducated people enter the restaurante at least 1 month before my wedding, lol.
Have you totally lost it? You told him that?
Of course I did. I mean, a mere high school grad just seems vulgar, not for fit for respectable people like us. Nobody's lets a mangy stray dog into a restaurant, right? Much less a high-class place like that. I told him he's gonna work there. He needs to disinfect himself before entering.
I really can't believe I'm hearing this. Have you become unhinged? You definitely have a few screws loose.
My screws are perfectly fine, lol. Besides, your boyfriend, when I told him not to enter the restaurante, you know what he had to say? He said, "Very well, miss. I will do as you say." Can you believe this guy? For a mere high school graduate, he certainly knows his place. He didn't talk back at all and just sulked away like a beaten dog, lol. Not the vigorous and fearless young man, that's for sure, lol.
Oh boy, you went and did it. That means there will be no wedding cake. What a shame.
Huh? Cake? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, I suppose you already know where you work, so it doesn't matter anymore. Just going to have to be truthful, I guess. The Brad you so despise is the pâtissier at that restaurant.
Huh?
Yep, Brad studied at the top pâtissier academy in France, and he recently won the award at that world-famous pâtissier contest in Paris last year. That world-renowned pâtissier that you were so proud of? Well, that is none other than my boyfriend, Brad.
Now you're the one that has a few screws loose, lol. That uneducated country boy, a world-renowned pâtissier? Give me a break, lol.
It's true. His father's also a pâtissier. He currently works in Paris. That's right. Right after graduating from high school, he flew to Paris to be with his dad and to attend the pâtissier academy there. It was the same place his father graduated from. He then worked for several years at one of the top pâtissier establishments in Paris. He returned about 2 years ago and currently works at that restaurant where you plan to have your wedding, minus the cake, of course.
You're kidding, right?
No, I'm afraid it's true. Well, I guess you kicked him out, so nothing to do with you anymore, right? You told him to stay away for a month, right? I don't see how he'll be able to make that cake for you. I guess you're going to have to make do with something from Costco, lol.
Hold on a second. If that's true, no, it can't be. Why didn't you tell me about him when you first mentioned him?
Well, like I said, Brad didn't want me telling everyone. Some years back, a short while after he returned from Paris, this neighbor found out he was a pâtissier and constantly asked him to make her and her friends all kinds of pastries. He just could deal with that. That's why he wanted me to keep it quiet. But even though you didn't know his background, Denigrating someone like you did, Brad, that's not what a respectable person does.
How could I have known? A mere high school grad, a fashionable occupation like a patissier? Who would think?
You always look at people according to their educational achievements. That's why you always end up in embarrassing situations.
Hold on a second. I just got a text message from the wedding planner. It seems because I restricted his entry into the restaurant, all the chefs in the kitchen are apparently furious. They said they are going on strike. They're not going to cook for my wedding. What the hell am I going to do?
The chefs are on strike? LOL. Oh, you really did it this time. Guess you're just going to have to apologize or find another venue.
I can't do that. I already told all my friends that I was holding my wedding reception at that place. I waited 3 years to reserve a spot there. I can't give it up now. No way I can find another place at this late date.
Well, your only option is to apologize. Right? If you're so set on having the reception there, I don't see any other way.
How am I going to? Oh yeah, Miley. You're his girlfriend. Talk to him and apologize on my behalf, please. Get him to come back.
Sorry, not going to happen.
Huh?
Why should I apologize? You created this mess, you clean it up. The responsible thing to do is to admit your mistake and apologize to Brad. Simple as that. And you're asking the wrong person. I'm still super pissed at you for trashing my boyfriend.
You want me to admit my mistake and apologize to this guy? Some snotty high school graduate? No way that's happening. You go and apologize to him. Do it now. I cannot stain my perfect lifestyle by stooping so low.
Well, you certainly have no remorse, I see. Wow, to think this is my older sister. How embarrassing. I will not help you out. That's it.
How could you treat your older sister this way? Just do as I say. That's an order. I'm practically begging you.
Maybe we should go back to elementary school and relearn proper etiquette at LOL. After that, my sister reluctantly went to the restaurant to apologize, but she immediately brought up her status as an elite college graduate with many rich friends or whatsoever. The usual drivel. Her attitude was so condescending that it just made things worse. What's more, during the supposed apology, she again blurted out the fact that Brad was a mere high school grad. She just couldn't keep her mouth shut. The restaurant staff were furious with her arrogance and they in turn canceled the reservation and prohibited her from ever again entering the restaurant. This incident also caused the relationship with her fiancé to go downhill. Well, that spat escalated beyond remedy and eventually they broke off the engagement. Brenda was so shocked by what had happened to her so-called perfect life, she wouldn't come out of the house anymore. Academic background does not make a person. I don't see why my sister does not realize that. I told Brad how sorry I was to have a sister like that. I was ready to break up with him, he so desired, but he had no intention of doing that, but instead smiled and forgave me. He even suggested that we have our wedding reception at the Ristorante, LOL. I'm sure I won't have to wait 3 years for a reservation.